So welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, my name is Victoria, and I am going to be doing a little bit of a different video today. Like sometimes I post vlogs. Sorry about the noise in the back. I live near a very busy street, so yeah. Anyways, sometimes I post vlogs, and I'm also posting my teaching abroad experience. I'm not abroad yet, but I'm in the process of doing that. So in this video, I'm kind of going to give like a breakdown in one of the applications that I have or am doing or in the process of doing. Well, okay, I did it, but now I'm just kind of in the waiting game, waiting tick tock on the clock. So the application that I recently turned in is the EPIK application, and that is an English teaching program in Korea, South Korea, and hopefully I'm waiting. Yep, good vibes only, and hopefully I get that. But today I'm just going to do a breakdown of everything. If you're trying to teach abroad, for this application itself, if you're in the process of filling it out like I was a couple of weeks ago. So I did turn mine in, or I hit submit, the first week of February. Yes, the first week of February. At that first weekend, I wanted them to see it immediately, but it doesn't really matter as long as you get it in, I think, before the deadline, which I think is end of April, maybe. No, actually, no, I think it's like June. So, but the earlier you turn it in, the better. So if you are trying to do that, get it in earlier so you can get like interview time and all that good stuff. So starting off, sorry if I'm looking down because I have like my papers right in front of me so I can tell you guys everything you need to know. So of course, the beginning of the application, it just asks you for your name, date of birth. They do ask you for a picture, and I think it's 3x4. 3x4. So you can, it doesn't have to be like a professional picture. Of course, you should look nice. Maybe business shirt, something like that. And it has to be cropped to that level, which if you have like different editing apps or photo apps, they can definitely edit it for you, which is what I did because I already have a couple of photos since I'm a teacher. So I just kind of cropped it to how they wanted it to be and like submitted it. So they ask for that, and then of course they ask you for your age, if you're married, because sometimes they do provide you with housing if you do end up becoming one of the people participating in this program. So they ask you those questions, and then of course you will need an E2 visa, which is later on down the line if you are accepted. And then after that, they ask you, have you ever left the country? Have you ever taught outside the country? My answer is no, because I haven't done that yet. And of course, where you live. Moving on from that, they ask you for, of course, your emergency contacts, your past experience. So if you don't have teaching experience, it is okay, as long as you have a college degree in some sort of area. And then I think you can get, I forgot the name of it. I think it's a tell something, TEFL, I'll put it here. And you can get that, get a couple of hours. It's like an online program I think you can do, or some people actually do in-person hours to get that certificate, which looks good on your application. But I personally don't have that. I am a teacher. I do have teaching experience. I've been teaching for over 2 years. So that's what I put down for my educational background. And of course, they ask you for your high school, middle school, elementary school, college, and all that. So that's what I placed there. And then of course, I put my teaching experience for the past 2 years or 2.5 years. Next is just like additional information. They do ask you for your language inquiry, making sure that you speak English is your first language, or if you don't speak English as your first language, then I think you have to get some sort of English acquisition test to see how well your English is. And then they also ask you if you have any terminal illness or anything like that. They ask you if you have tattoos, which I do. I have one. right here. So you have to take a picture of it and describe where it is on your body and how you're going to cover it up. Which I just put, I can wear a long sleeve shirt, or you can always cover it with makeup. So that's what I put, and then I posted a picture of it as well. They ask you, I guess, for your dietary needs, vegetarian, vegan. Would you prefer to receive housing instead of being provided housing, or do you want to pick your own housing and then they just give you the money for it? I said, nope, don't prefer that. Find a place for me, because yeah, no, that's too much for me. And then they ask you for your self-medication assessment, if you have any like vision impairments, mental issues, high blood pressure, diabetes, do you smoke, how much alcohol you drink. So they ask you a lot of questions about that. And then they ask you, would you be prepared to undergo a medical examination? And I put yes, I'm pretty healthy for the most part. Next, the next page is acknowledging the EPIK policies. And you just kind of read through all of it. It's about 20 different things. And then you click yes, and then you sign at the bottom. It's like 11 pages, guys. It's a pretty long application. So the next part is the personal essay part, which I think I talked about before in one of my other videos. I didn't really go into detail about it. I just kind of said I have to do a personal essay. And they're not really long. They're about 250 to 300 words or 400 words. And the first essay says, answer both. You want to teach in Korea. Why do you want to teach in Korea? And why do you want to teach English as a first language? So, and then of course I wrote that out. I think I wrote about 300 words for that. And I just kind of talked about how I'm an educator and I do love teaching. It's one of my passions. And teaching at a different place can actually expand my experience, expand my knowledge on becoming a better teacher. So that's kind of what I wrote, kind of. The next question is explain your teaching philosophy. And that one wasn't too hard for me, only because in college it kind of be like, know your teaching philosophy, know it, know it, know it. So it's kind of like engraved in my brain. So I kind of, I wrote about that, what I believe in as an educator. So I wrote about that. And I think I also wrote about 400 words on that essay as well. And then the last one is share your thoughts on encountering cultural differences. That one was a little bit harder for me to write because I had to really think about it. But I just kind of wrote about, being able to experience new cultures and also having an understanding like, yes, it won't be easy because I don't live there and people don't look like me. But it's also a great opportunity just to share different perspectives and also learn new cultures from new people. So that's kind of what I wrote. And that one I think was also around 400 words. And then on the bottom, there's like a little questionnaire asking, how did you hear about the application? And I knew about this application for a while. Like I said, I have been wanting to teach abroad since right after college, but I got scared. I didn't do it. So I'm gonna do it as I was doing it now. So I kind of already knew about it for a while. And I heard about it through YouTube and Google search. So that's what I checked on the boxes. That's what I checked. So the next part, did I skip a page? Let me see. Yeah. The next part is the lesson plan part. And this part's kind of funny for me because of course I write lesson plans every week, but not this extensive. It is very detailed. And so I had to actually break every little thing down, from the words that are coming out of my mouth to what I would want the kids to respond to all that. So if you don't have lesson plan experience, it's okay. I would just say to kind of search things up, maybe look to see different type of templates that you can see and use, and just try your best. But yes, I made a lesson plan, and you can choose the, I guess, English level of the lesson plan. So I chose a beginner level, and I chose the grade entry of elementary school. And then they ask you for the number of students, the lesson topic, which I did on community helpers. And I just kind of wrote out a list of vocabulary that they are going to be introduced to and what they're going to learn towards the end of the lesson. So the first part is they want you to start off with what happened in the previous class. So it's kind of like a scenario, I guess, in your head that they want you to write down. So I just kind of wrote about in the previous class, they learned about community helpers within the school, but now we're moving on to community helpers in their neighborhood or throughout their community. So I wrote, and they ask you for additional handouts. What are some things you're going to use? So I actually made some things like on Word document, or you can also find some cool activities on Teacher Pay Teacher. Great website. They have free things or things at a very low cost. So I found some ideas from there as well, and I kind of remade it on Word so I can put in some documents. So I did that, and the next part is the objective. What will the students be able to do? And I had 3 objectives on my lesson plan. Students will be able to make a list of community helpers in their neighborhood. Students will be able to name each community helper in English, and then students will sort community helpers with the right objects that represents their careers. And then I also have a main goal. Students will understand that community helpers are needed in every neighborhood and community. So yes, that was part of it. And then the other part after that is the text expression. So it's kind of like the conversational English. So I was just writing about what does a firefighter do? And hopefully the students will respond with puts out a fire, or what do they drive? A fire truck. So since this is a beginner level lesson plan, it is very basic. It's not too hard. I'm not doing grammar sentences, things like that, but you can make a lesson plan that is harder for like maybe middle school or high school students, or it depends on the English level. So that's something you can choose on your own. Like, this lesson plan is for you. You choose what is easiest for you. So since I am a primary school teacher, or that's my most experience, I chose to do a primary styled lesson plan. So yes, they ask you for vocabulary, they ask you for the introduction, the development, which is the actual lesson. What are they going to be doing? Are they working in groups? Things of that nature. And then the practice portion is what is the actual activity, which is what I posted and pasted on the application, the worksheet that I made in Word document, which is the community helper sort. So that's what I made, and I posted it on the application that went along with my lesson plan. And then after that, they asked for a summary, closing, and what the kids will learn in the next lesson. And for me, I chose they broke it in half, or I broke it in half for the lesson plan. They learned about 3 community helpers in this lesson, and in the next lesson for next time, they're going to learn about 3 new community helpers. So it's kind of like a 3-part lesson, and then by the next class, we'll be moving on to something new. So that's kind of how I worded it on the application. They do have little tabs on the application that tells you how they want it to look like. So they really want it to look like dialogue. So the teacher says this, student says this, teacher does this, student does this, the activity is this, with this many students for this amount of time. So it's kind of broken down like that. So if you're not used to writing lesson plans, they do help a lot if you click on the little question button, or of course you can always find outside help and get that lesson plan done. So once you're done with the lesson plan portion of the application, you're pretty much done with the whole application itself. You hit submit, and then you wait, which is what I'm doing right now, waiting. But when I was looking online to see what are some things you should be doing next, of course, it's the paperwork stuff, which I have been talking about a million times on my other videos, which is what I'm doing now, which is to first print out, of course, a hard copy of your application. And then after that, you also have to get things done, fingerprints, and all that good jazz. while you're waiting. So hopefully, like I said, I get the call soon, or the email soon with an interview time. And once that happens, I'll definitely keep you guys updated. But yes, this video is a little bit long, but I did want to go through the application fast, but I also want to give you guys the information that you need just in case you also want to teach abroad for August. But if not, you can always wait, and the application opens again in August for the next upcoming spring year. And like I said, you don't have to be a teacher if you just have a passion for teaching, and you also want to go somewhere new. I think this is a great opportunity. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching my video, for staying the 15 minutes or so. Hopefully you guys will like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week with more videos. Bye.